Hello and welcome to Learn with Hema's class. My dear students, today we are going to learn about prepositions. Use of preposition is very much essential in a language. It is preposition which tell us more about the position of a noun or pronoun. Out of the 8 parts of speech, preposition is one among them. In this video, we shall learn the definition and kinds of preposition. We shall also learn preposition of time with examples. The rest prepositions we shall learn in the coming videos. But before we go ahead, one small thing that I ask you to do is hit the like button, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel, Learn with Hema, and don't forget to share my videos with your friends. So let's start. Prepositions. You know that a preposition is a word that establishes the relationship between a noun or a pronoun and other parts of a sentence. Just now I said that preposition is something that tells you more about noun or pronoun, its position, where these are positioned. So it tells us the more about position of this noun and pronoun and some other parts of a sentence also. For example, these are some of the examples. Rimjim put the apples on the plate. Now here on word tells us more about the apples position. Where are apples? Apples are on the plate. Right? So apples and plate are connected with the word on. On is telling us the position about apples. So on is a preposition. The pupils sit inside the classroom. Here the relationship between pupils, the noun pupils, and the classroom. So where the pupils are? Inside the classroom. So inside is a word which tells us more about the position of the pupils. The horse stood near the clock tower. So near the clock tower. Who? Horse. Where he is standing? Near the clock tower. So the position of the horse. We can learn about the position of the horse from the word near. Where it is? Near the clock tower, or we can say far away from the clock tower. So this word is the preposition. So all these words which tells us about the position of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence, they are said to be prepositions. Prepositions may be used to denote a number of relationships. Now preposition is not only the position, there may be many other relationships which are known to us with the help of prepositions. Generally, prepositions denote time, place, direction and movement. These are the 4 things which prepositions tell us. Generally, I am talking about. Preposition is again itself a very vast topic. But what we are going to do is, for a school section, we are going to cover only this much part. Time, place, direction and movement. And for now, in this video, I am going to cover prepositions of time. In my coming videos, I shall cover up with preposition of place, direction and movement. So let's go forward. So the first one, preposition of time. In preposition of time, we are going to do in detail how many prepositions of time are there, where it can be used. So quite a number of prepositions may be used to denote time. There are many prepositions which tell us about time. The choice of the preposition depends on what the speaker wants to convey. So whoever is speaking, what that person wants to inform or tell, what message the person wants to convey, it all depends on that, what preposition we are going to use. In most cases, this choice is pretty easy. However, we should pay extra attention to the prepositions discussed below. So these are some of the prepositions which we shall be discussing now, and we are going to pay some extra attention because these prepositions do not have only one use, they can be used at various places. So let's learn about them. So the very first preposition of time is at. So time means when. When we talk about time, we normally ask the question when a particular thing is done, when it will be done, when it will take place. Okay, so that is time, preposition of time. So the first thing that comes to our mind is when. So at is one such preposition which tells us when. So point of time. For a particular point of time, we use at. So for example, at 5 o'clock, at noon, at midnight. For festivals, at the time of festivals, we use at Christmas, at Diwali. At the time of meal time, the meal time, na, which time? Meal time, we use at lunch, at dinner. Indefinite period, it can be at dawn, at night. So these are the sentences which we are going to do now based on these examples. The burglary took place at midnight. When? At midnight. So at is the preposition which tells us about the time. When did the thing took place? When did the action took place? I'll be going home at Diwali. When I'll be going home? At Diwali. You will not use on Diwali. On Diwali will be wrong. So at Diwali is the correct one. Correct preposition that we should use. We'll discuss this problem at lunch, not on lunch, at lunch. So we'll discuss this problem at lunch. So correct usage is, so these are the things which we have to pay attention to. At, when do we use at? Point of time, when it is a particular point of time, when it is a festival or a meal time or indefinite period, that is dawn or night or evening. These are indefinite periods because they keep on coming, they never end. Preposition of time is on. Day, we can use on to refer to day, date, that is day plus morning, evening, afternoon, night, etc. like that. So on Friday, on particular day we say na, when is our holiday? On Friday, it's on Friday. On Sunday, on the 17th of March, on a particular date, when we talk about a particular date, on the 17th of March, we will never say in the 17th of March. We will on which date? On 17th of March. On Friday morning. On Saturday night. So these are the things day, date, when we use on as the preposition. The train will reach Mumbai on Friday morning. When is the train going to reach here? On Friday morning. Not at Friday morning or not in Friday morning. It should be on Friday morning. So it tells us the day. The annual function takes place on 8th March. When? Which date? On 8th March. So the third preposition is in. In normally is used when we know about the time of the year. Say for example, season. In which season? In spring or in winter. Year. In which year? In 2009 or 2011. Month. That is in which month we talk about? In March, in July. Or part of the day if we talk about in the morning. So the examples over here you can see Neil Armstrong landed on the moon in 1969. In which year? In 1969. We shifted to this house in March. Which month? In March. It also shows future time. Time starting from now. It also shows future time. That means starting from now up to what time in the future. So I'll be back in 2 hours. In 2 hours means it's going to start from now. You are leaving right now and right from now within 2 hours or in 2 hours you'll be coming back. So I'll be back in 2 hours. So this is a future time I'm talking about, and future time is something where we are using the preposition in and that time starts from now. You'll get this information in 15 minutes when we say that something is going to happen within a particular period of time in 15 minutes. The preposition that we are going to talk about over here is in and within. What is the difference between in and within? In, when we use in means at the end of. That means which time we are talking about, at the end of a particular time, and within means before the end of that particular time. So these two things should not be confused. They are very simple, very easy to differentiate them between in is at the end of a particular time and within is before the end of that particular time. I'll be back in 2 hours. This is at the end of 2 hours. That means I'll be back in 2 hours. That means after the 2 hours is completed, that time I'll be back. So in, that is why we have used. I'll be back within 2 hours. Within 2 hours means before 2 hours are completed, I'll be back. So that is before 2 hours have passed. So in and within, these are the two different things, but it is very easy to differentiate between them. In is at the end of a particular time. In we use at the end of a particular time. Within we make sure that before the particular time the thing happens. Before the end of that particular time the thing happens. That time we use within. So next preposition number 5, that is they show time. See, in we studied, on we studied, at we studied, and we also studied in and within. So apart from all these things, there are other prepositions also that show us time. For example, these examples are given along with the sentences. Look at the illustrations. The illustrations are given here. These are the illustrations over here. At 5 o'clock. Now if suppose I have taken the time 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock. The train departed at 5 o'clock. The time of the train departure is known at 5 o'clock. This is exactly at 5 o'clock. The departure is exact at 5 o'clock. About 5 o'clock, when we are using about means not exact. At 5 o'clock, that means it was exact time we are talking about. And about 5 o'clock, that means we are not talking about the exact time. It's before or after. About, somewhere around this time. It can be before that time, it can be after that time, it can be at that particular same time. So they are expected here about 5 o'clock. That means within this time period, before or after, or it may be on exactly at exactly 5 o'clock, or it can be before 5, or it can be little after 5. Before 5 o'clock over here, before 5 o'clock means something just before, exactly before 5 o'clock, not 5 o'clock, just before 5 o'clock. So things that happens before 5 o'clock. So here the X is there. See, here we have a X. This indicates that the point denoting exact 5 o'clock is not included. That is, this point, exact 5 o'clock is not included. That this is known as before 5 o'clock. That means the time which is 5 o'clock, before that something will happen. After 5 o'clock, I won't be in the office after 5 o'clock. That means after 5 o'clock, I won't be there in the office. That is, till 5, I am going to be there. Before 5, I am going to be there. But after 5, I am not going to be there. Until 5 o'clock. That is not before 5. Okay. So here the sentence is C. From the sentence, you will easily come to know. I won't leave the office until 5 o'clock. Until 5 o'clock means till it is not 5. I am not going to leave the office. That is, up to 5 o'clock, I am going to be there in the office itself. So this part, yes, this part before 5 o'clock, it's going to be included and not after 5 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, that is any point before 5 or at 5. By 5 o'clock, when we say by 5 o'clock, I'll be there by this time. That means before that time or exactly on that time, but not after that. When we talk about some particular thing, by, that means it can be before that or at particular that time and not after that time. So, any point before 5 or at 5. Will you be home by 5 o'clock? That means will you reach home by 5 or before 5? From 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, the doctor will be available from 5 to 8 o'clock. That means from 5 to 8 o'clock, that means between this time, between these two time periods. In this, 5 o'clock is also included and 8 o'clock is also included. Nothing is excluded from over here. The next part that we are going to do is since and for. Many students get confused between since and for. What is since and for? When do we use since? This is also for time period. And when do we use for? This is also for time. So here, since we use since when we know that a particular event has started in the past and it is still going on. And when do we use for? We'll use for when we know that a particular action has taken place for a particular period of time. The duration is known to us. That is for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for 8 hours, for 1 day, for 2 days, for 1 week, like that. Since 7 a.m. if it is said, that means since 7 a.m. that is from 7 a.m. the thing has started and it is still going on, it has not stopped. So since means the thing has started in the past and it is still continuing, it is not stopped. And for means it has started somewhere in the past and it ended somewhere in the past or just now. Since 2013 means still the particular thing is something going on. Since childhood means still that particular thing is there. For an hour, that means only for an hour, that is we had Zoom classes for an hour. So that means that particular time you had your class and that's it. For a long time, that means the students discussed the answers for a long time. For ages, that means for many years the thing had happened. So since is used to suggest the point of time at which an action started. So Mr. Menon has been talking to some guests since 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. he has started talking and he is talking till now. That is why we use this word since. And for, when do we use for? For is used to suggest the period of time for which an action has been going on. So Mr. Menon has been talking to some guest for 2 hours. That means 2 hours he had a conversation between him and the guests. So it's given over here since. Since suggests the time at which an action started and for suggests the duration for which an action has been in progress. With this, I end my today's session. We'll soon meet in my next video. Till then, stay safe, stay secure. Thank you.